All right, guys. So this is going to be a shakedown run of the Gladiator and Kong. Unfortunately, I'm getting out super late. It's been storming. It's 5:30. I was supposed to be there before 6. It's 45 minutes away. Anyway, I'm going to try to get on out there. I'm going to give you guys some views on the road of what everything looks like. But let's see how this Diesel Gladiator does compared to the Jeep with the Ripp supercharger. It already is impressing me. It's already towing this thing super easy, and I've got a lot of gear in this thing. No lift and not the big tires, but a lot of equipment. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up? I wanted to take this time real quick to just say I want to thank every one of you guys. I just realized I've only been doing this 4 months, and I just noticed that I got a ding from YouTube saying in 4 months I've had over 60,000 views on all my videos. You guys don't know what that means to me. I put a lot into this, and I really try to make it my life and really try to give you guys as much explanation and understanding and information on everything we do and how we do it, and crawling and climbing and camping. Anyway, I don't know that I even deserve it, but I definitely want to say, hey man, I super appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now here we go. This is it, guys. This is exactly why I bought the Diesel Gladiator. 75 miles on the highway, barely at 2,000 RPMs. It is literally taking this with a grain of salt, and I am loaded down. That's impressive. Show you guys this. This is 4 low, all locked, and this is an insane road. That whole ditch over there is probably 2.5 foot deep of water. And anytime I get above 20 miles an hour, of course the trailer starts going crazy and whipping all over the place and wanting to slide down in a ditch. So it's definitely been fun. You can kind of see it back there, but it's really hard to tell. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to show this. And the funny thing is, on the map, like, I'm trying to stay right on the crest, but you see I'm the purple arrow, and I've got to make it all the way down to that next yellow line, and it looks like it's going to be a long way. So I tried to back out of it, but you know, if anybody knows trailering in the mud, the trailer, because there's got no positive movement in the wheels, it won't steer where you want it to steer. So unfortunately, I'm in it for the long haul, and it's going to be, I'm going to see what I can do. Use of four-wheel drive and four-wheel drive low, and the lockers on a 17-mile road. It was insane. Look, you can see you can see how much is on this thing. But again, this trailer is just made to just tear right through this. It's nothing. And I will tell you this, hey, these guys right here, I'm absolutely impressed. That was the soupiest damn road I've been on in a long time, and they're still aired up to 35 PSI. I couldn't even stop to let them down, just due to the fact that, you know, if I would have stopped, the trailer kept trying to walk and slide over to the, oh gosh, look at that. Yeah, it kept trying to slide towards the ditch. But I'll tell you this, even these Patagonias, you know, people complain about them, but you know, those things were, they are aired up as hard as they possibly could be. And I mean, you can see it. Like, I don't know if you know how much that is, but that's about 6 inches of mud right there. And then of course, you can kind of see the propane tank. Anyway, I'm highly impressed. This Gladiator has definitely impressed me for sure. So I'm gonna say sloppy mud with the Diesel Gladiator, pulling a trailer. Impressed. Figured I'd kind of show you guys what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and air down now. This is a road here. It's probably about 6 miles long. There's asphalt here, but I know it's real hard to see, but down there I think you can see the tracks in the road. So after it goes into this deep wash, when you start climbing up, it just turns into straight dirt, and I need to be prepared for that. But if the park's muddy, you know, the same thing, I need to go ahead and have this thing ready. So why not? I mean, you can kind of see the storms are out there. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. But I think it's going to be a stormy night. It's going to be a neat night because they're on all sides of us. So that's going to be the north side of the park. You know, it could come across us. But mostly I think those guys down there, they're going to move basically northeast, which will take them right across through there and probably right across our canyon at the Marist Adventure Park. So I'm going to get air down and then haul butt over there, and maybe I'll have enough time to get set up and maybe at least get the awning out and staked down so that I can at least hide under it. So we made it here. This is how you check in when you get to Marist. It's an amazing way. It lets them know that you're here, and it's a safe way so that everybody knows you're doing wheeling and such. So anyway, I want to show you guys, introduce you guys to Dirk. He's the guy that runs the show, makes everything happen, and really continues to make this thing better every day. So tell us about it.
Yeah guys, welcome to Marist Adventure Park. We are located here in Palo Duro Canyon, and we've got 5,500 acres here of premium canyon land, and we've got a crew out here that's building mountain bike trails, hiking trails, and off-roading and overlanding trails on a continual basis. So every month we're getting more and more mileage, working on the trails, grooming them, working on building more campsites, and our bigger infrastructure project for cabins and full hookup RV sites are happening early next year in 2022. But yeah, I want to invite you guys to come check it out. You can go to marisadventure.com. We just launched our new site. Really easy to book there, and would love to see you guys come hang out at the park.
All right. Hey, Dirk, I appreciate it. I want to show you guys this. Here's his rig. Do not assume that this is a guy that runs a park that doesn't know what he's doing. If you'll watch his videos, if you check him out on Instagram, you'll see he wheels the hell out of this Jeep. He's out here creating something for you guys that's definitely one of a kind. It's in a place in Texas where you wouldn't think that they have what they do. All I'm saying is do me a favor, check it out, go to their website, and you'll see how much there is to offer on this piece of property and how much you would not believe that it is not like flat Texas. Anyway, stay tuned. You guys, this is pretty neat. So obviously right now, because of the current conditions, not today, but the current conditions, there's no fires, but that's a county issued thing. But here's a great map of the park. It shows you all the trails that's going on right now, and it's got colors, and so those tell you what to do. Obviously it tells you about what you can and can't do with firearms in this property, and then depending on which way you're going, it'll have signs to tell you where you're going and what trail. That'll take you to Rec Center, hike and bike trails, Hertz Bluff, Drop Zone, and Park Road West. So if you go back on the map, you can see exactly where those are on the map. And so again, it's just pretty impressive. There goes Dirk. He's having to go recover some guy right now that's high centered. But anyway, let's get it rolling. Guys, I finally picked a place. And this is going to be it. Before I show you this, I want to show you kind of what's going on here. How beautiful is that? So that's literally the edge of a storm that's coming our way. And of course, here's the canyon. But I want to see, I got him loose, and I've got the trailer kind of set up. I'm not going to do the awnings today because you can see how muddy this thing is. So what I did is I went ahead and unpacked it. Something else I wanted to show you guys. Again, with this system, you see no generators running right now, right? So these are 200 amp batteries. There is a full AC unit, okay? It's running right now. I'm cooling the trailer off. And then of course, I've got the master unit turned on in here, and it's running. You can see, oh, I can't really block the screen, but you can see it's 100%, and it's charging even right now. But you can see the load, 2 batteries. That's it. It's 2. There's a 100 amp AGM battery under there and a 60. So technically it's 360. But if you were to do the math and be actually literal about it, it's probably closer to 250 amp hours, considering you don't really get the full use of it. But since it is tonight, I wanted to show you guys this. This is what I was talking about, having everything in bins. Everything packs up inside the trailer, so I pull it out in bins. That way when it's raining, they're sorted like this. It doesn't matter, I can throw these outside and rain's not gonna get anything and destroy anything. Every bit of my camping gear is like that. But you can see it's all laid out, and there's food, and then the cooking utensils. That's a Mr. Buddy heater if we ever needed it. There's multiple extra chairs, stuff for fires, fire blankets, emergency wipes, hand towels, and then of course over here there's extra fluids for the Jeep, miscellaneous parts, an entire box of tools. And this is something I find that I go overkill on, but I mean, I bring a torque wrench, and there's anti-seize and Loctite. I mean, to me, all of this is very important. And then of course there's my roll-out mat and my shower tent, my G4 shower tent. But like I said, because it's so dirty, I'm not gonna set it up completely. I would, but again, it's just too dirty. And right now, I know you guys like, want to see that and what all it does. There's the Gladiator, there's the trailer. It's fantastic. But I wanted to show you guys some of this. I mean, this is an enormous canyon, and I don't think you can understand the gravity of how big this thing is. That's miles and miles away. But I'll take you over here and kind of walk this way. I wanted you guys to see that you can't really see from here because I can't get close enough, but I want to say it's about a 750 vertical drop from where I'm at to the canyon floor, and maybe this edge will kind of show something, but it doesn't really, not completely, but I want to say if you were to draw a straight line across to that road right there, from here to there and down, I think he said it was like 700 feet, but then out here you can see it goes forever. So I wanted you to see the beauty of this place. This is a place like nowhere else in Texas. It's not a place like you'd see in the Panhandle. You're not going to assume that this is something you would see in the Texas Panhandle. But what I did want to do is show you guys, there's the trailer, and when I do make my dinner, I'm going to sit right there. And so I'll obviously show it to you when I'm eating, but this is going to be my view for dinner. Not bad for 45 minutes out of Amarillo. Now, were there some pretty nasty conditions getting out here? Yes. But again, hey, stick with me. I'm going to show you more of this park. But right now I want to finish setting up while I got some light and kind of keep moving on things. Anyway, stay tuned. Simple breakfast tonight, some egg whites, sausage, heating up some coffee so I can do some decaf coffee, and then get in the Gladiator and kind of go explore. But what I did want to show you is this. I mean, this is just gorgeous. I mean, you can see the storm's edge just right there. And then of course, as you pan over and over the Gladiator, you can kind of see it stretching out. And then there's a nice big gap, and then there's just this, like, how beautiful is this? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go see what I can find just after my dinner right there. I wanna show you how lucky I am, guys. This is what I'm talking about enjoying the moment. Look at that moon. This is my dinner. This is what I get to look at. Watching my cowboys, watching the moon, looking at this nature. Like, we just can't always be this lucky, and for a drop of the minute trip and everything to come together, then a major rainstorm to happen, have absolute hell getting out here, and then to get out here and it's dry and the temperature's wonderful. It's probably 82. I mean, it's just beautiful. And then I get to eat dinner with this, and then I get to go cruise around night wheeling. Like, I just wish you guys could be here to kind of feel how good it is to be here. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy some of my decaf coffee, some of that eggs and bacon, a little football, and then I'm gonna get on the trail. Hey, stay tuned for some night wheeling. I really think there's something to night wheeling. It's something I really enjoy. I think it really works on your composure while driving. You have to work on so many things like depth perception and understanding line choices differently than in the light, because what you think is the tallest points to make your path through generally aren't, and it's a shadow that you're seeing. So a lot of the times that you're going through there, it seems harder than it would during the day, which I think is fun. Now this, you can see, is just a standard ranch road, but it's just the fun of it, right? I'm going out there and all the animals are out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch them on footage because it was dark, but during this little run, I ended up seeing probably 15 or 20 mule deer and probably 3 to 4 coyotes, and that's pretty neat. I enjoy seeing the wildlife at the same time doing what we're doing, wheeling. Now, I was kind of anticipating going down into the canyon, but it was already late enough, and I didn't realize that it was getting close to after 10 when I was out. So I figured to get a decent day in the next day as early as I had to be up, I wanted to just kind of shoot some aerial footage where I knew I had open skies in the dark, because telemetry doesn't work very well, obviously, and just kind of cruise and kind of enjoy the things that I was out there to do. And that was to A, drive and get familiar with the Gladiator, and B, appreciate what I was able to get to do. So anyway, stick around, watch some of this, and then remember, there's going to be a part 2. So wheeling comes day 2 early in the morning. Stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm back. I've been exploring this park. This park is huge. I know the brochure says only 5,500 acres, but there's literally trails, you know, going everywhere. And remember, this is a stock Gladiator, so I'm definitely rubbing on a lot of places. I'm not used to that coming from a Jeep on 37s or 40s. So, it's funny though. It's a whole lot still like the Jeep driving it, just not as capable, if that makes sense. But you go to these offshoots, and they're like this road right here, where it's like it used to be just plains, and they just have mowed a track through it back and forth to make a track, and then all of a sudden it goes from this kind of trail to, you know, an actual real trail. There, you know, it's totally rutted out. There's no more smoothness to it, and so it's kind of funny how that works, because you think you're just cruising along, and all of a sudden it definitely changes for sure. But again, I didn't want to air down too far. I only aired down to 25 psi. I'm not familiar with Falcons at all. Judging by the looks of them, I mean, they look pretty decent. They've been decent. I don't know how good the sidewalls are. There's a lot of cut material out here, so the last thing I want to do is, you know, puncture a sidewall. I've got my spare obviously on the Baja rack, that X-Rack that I built, but I'd still like to get through the first night without having to change a tire. And so I'm just kind of being cautious and kind of exploring, and I'm mapping it all on Gaia right now. And of course, all my maps on Gaia are public. What do you mean? Public access, so everybody can get all of my maps, and I have lots. If you're on Gaia, you could search me, you know, Brian Triplett, and probably find my public folders, and it's all there for you guys. And then you can see kind of a layout of what this park looks like. And I've only covered a little bit of it, but there's still a lot to see. And so there's an entire side that I haven't even been to prior to this trip with the Gladiator. And there's a lot of trails that I can't take the Gladiator on that I took the JL on. You know, Dirk and I were discussing it, and you know, one of the trails I really like is called Sidewinder, and because of the wheelbase of this truck, it just wouldn't make it. Matter of fact, when we got here at the gate, you saw him, he had to go recover somebody. That was the trail they were on, and it happened to be a truck with a small 2-inch lift and 35s. Well, he got stuck on that trail Sidewinder multiple times. It ended up taking Dirk probably close to 2.5 hours to pull him all the way through that trail. So I think I'll skip that trail for tonight. I'd love to do it if I had somebody else to help me yank out or something, but I guess I don't. So instead of digging holes and setting a dead man and pulling winch cable, I think what I'll do is I'll err on the side of caution and just kind of go where I know. Although I do want to kind of check this out. I'm going to do this big steep downhill that I showed you guys earlier from my campsite, looking out over to this road. And I want to see what it's like going down in this diesel. Now, it's the same one that I took the jail down in Kong, and then had to literally, you know, just work the holy crap out of the JL to get it out and up this big hill. So I'll be curious to see, and I'll do it tomorrow with the Gladiator and the Kong, to see what differences there is between the JL bringing that trailer up out of that canyon on boost versus the low end torque that this diesel makes. So I'll be really intrigued to see kind of how that's going to work, and how similar or dissimilar they really are. Because on boost, theoretically, the JL comes close to, with that Ripp supercharger, comes close to create the same amount of low end torque that this thing does naturally. Now, obviously, it's a turbo diesel, but what I mean is it's normally making this power. It's not having to come up on boost to make the power. Whereas, oh yeah, this is getting nice. Whereas the JL, you really had to get the ProCharger spinning to get it to make that torque to come up out of there. So we'll see. I guess for now I'm going to stop talking and try to concentrate on going down this hill. It's a little harder in this thing because it's so low, and everything that we come across, it scrapes. I won't go into detail now, but I will say that there was the end of Sidewinder. Love that trail. I will say this. The suspension's pretty good in this Gladiator. The one drawback is the front suspension. The springs are so short and the bump stops are so short and relative to distance that they're able to travel, that you feel a lot of harsh chop. And that really, really sucks, because some of the bumps are harsh and they just shouldn't be that way. Anyway, so now you can see the cliff, right? Well, that in front of us is not a cliff necessarily. That's actually, that's the hill going down. So I'm watching it via the, Jesus. Gary, we're in first. I'm watching it on the trail cam at the same time I'm watching it through the camera, which is pretty cool. Pretty neat. And of course there's Gaia. So I'll have to show you guys how I've got everything set up now. Oh yeah, look at this. That's a significant drop. Let's get two hands on the wheels, guys. So we're at 19 degrees right now, 20 degrees, 21 degrees. Yeah, I'm sliding out of my seat. 22 degrees. There was 23 degrees. So this is significantly pointed down. But I'll tell you this: the brakes, when I did this, you know, without the trailer on the Jeep, I'll tell you this: even though I had those power stop brakes on the JL in the 40s, these Gladiator brakes are competing really well with those, even though they're just trying to stop the stock 33 Falcon Wild Peaks, but they are doing a really good job. And quick shout out, Falcon tire, never run it except for on this guy, and I've had it a couple at a job site, and I thought it did really well, and then I've had it in the soupiest mud and it crushed it. And now on this rock, it's slowing me down. I'm not sliding. And like I said, we hit 23 degrees and it still wasn't sliding, even though I was kind of popping the brakes. So shout out to those Falcon Wild Peak guys. Now we know what you guys are always hollering about. I don't know how long they last and how puncture resistant they are, but as far as their abilities, they've definitely got some, that's for sure. And yeah, we're still going down, guys. It's insane. This is the area here where the dozer lost it. Something malfunctioned and it went right off the cliff and went down to the bottom of the canyon and ended up flipping and rolling. Well, a recovery team came here and they actually got it flipped back over. And you know, those old diesels are incredible. I'm sure you guys see some of the YouTube channels where they go and resurrect these things that have been sitting in, you know, forests and stuff, and in BC and Canada and, you know, Maine and these places where they've been sitting in these forests for probably 30 years and they actually get them to run. Well, same thing happened here. They said they got it flipped over and everything and let it drain for about a month and then came back in there and redid the fluids and it actually fired up, but they couldn't remove it because it had broke the track when it come down. So they were having to do they're gonna have to do I guess a lengthy repair to get the idler wheels or something like that. You'll have to tell me in the comments below, but some of the idler rollers to be put back in their place where they'll hold the track so they can drive it back out of here. Anyway, I thought that was a kind of interesting story. And so now we're at the bottom, and I don't know what's down here, so I'm just gonna kind of drive around and check it out. Stick around, guys. Okay, guys, this is climbing out of this. Jesus, it's already back up to 20% grade. This is climbing up this big hill. I was just curious to see how the EcoBoost diesel would do. and a little harder for it. I mean, I actually started on the gradient, and it's kind of doing the same thing. It's probably gonna take 4-wheel drive to get up and out of here, I bet. It's a pretty wicked climb. Like I said, over 23%, so that should tell you something. Let's see how she does now. I went ahead and just went to 4-wheel high. That should be more than sufficient to get out of this thing. Keep our speed rolling. But the JL, you know, wanted to just break loose. See, this is just going. The JL wanted to break loose the whole time, even without the trailer. But that Ripp supercharger is just so hard to control. You know, when it starts coming up on boost because you need it, it just basically goes crazy. And this kind of just lugs through it. So I was kind of wondering what we'd get, but I'm still curious. I mean, it's just lugging. It's funny. It's just lugging away. And this isn't 4-wheel high, guys. This is not low. I was wondering what it would do. And it's gonna just climb right out of here. That's crazy. Guys, you'll have to go back and watch the video of the JL just blowing the tires off, going crazy, trying to get out of here. And I mean, other than downshifting a little bit, it just did what it was supposed to do. And again, I'm in high. I'm not even in low range. I'm not even locked. I'm just climbing the mountain in high at a decent speed, and there it is. Wow, I'm truly impressed. I'll tell you this: if you're in the market for something new, and it's going to be a Gladiator or a JLU, you've got to go with the diesel. You just got to. They're that amazing. Anyway, that's a wrap for tonight, guys. I'll pick you guys up in the morning.